Hi! Welcome to Baby and Young Toddler Farm Life with me, Miss Sarah of Candy Mountain Music. So before we begin, I want to give you a couple of different options on how to consume these videos. So first and foremost, everything that I'm doing in these videos is for me to teach you and offer you what I know as far as music and movement goes, and then for you to give it all back to your child, okay? So I don't necessarily expect you guys to sit and just kind of stare and watch me on a screen. That really defeats the whole purpose, right? So here are some options for you. You can take it in small doses, maybe one activity at a time. And before I'm switching to the next activity, I'll always give you a heads up. You can pause the video and really just focus on repeating that one activity that we've just learned together with your child. That's going to give you kind of a lot more confidence with the activity and allow you to kind of repeat and repeat and repeat. Another way to consume the video is to do it right along with me with your baby here, and then you can always repeat later. Remember, these videos are yours forever. You can rewatch them whenever you want. And the third option would be to watch the video while your child is sleeping or at another time when your baby or young toddler is not around, to learn everything that I'm saying, and then to just do all of the music portions without me, without the screen in the room, on your own time. So I hope that you can choose whichever works best for your family. And here's the most important thing. There's no wrong way to do this, okay? You are choosing to add in more music, movement, and bonding with your baby and young toddler, and that is awesome. So, to begin, I always do a hello song. Hello songs are a really great way to begin music sessions because they put kind of a familiarity and a ritualistic kind of aspect to music time, and they allow your little one to kind of know what's coming next and what to expect. One of the very first songs that all of my kids that come through my music program pick up first is always the hello song because we sing it every single class. So I'm primarily going to be talking with you like this, but this is going to be my little sheep today that's going to be my baby or my child. And you'll notice that I'm not facing it and I'm not going to be necessarily looking in its eyes the whole time because I'm focused on you and teaching you. But I want you to be focused in what's called a social stance with your child when doing these activities. So let's talk really quickly about what a social stance is. A social stance is going to be any position in where you can see them and they can see you. So with a young baby, that's going to be them lying down in front of you, and you can prop their head up with a boppy or a rolled up pillow. With the older babies or young toddlers, they might like to sit in front of you. And then with our crawlers or our walkers, let's face it, they're just going to be wherever they are. It might be across the room, it might be circling around us, wherever. That's okay. Babies can still move around and listen and learn at the same time. So don't worry if they're just kind of wherever, all over the place. I always like to reassure my grown-ups of that. So go ahead and put them in a social stance, and my hello song is a pretty easy one. It goes like this. Welcome to music class, music class, music class. Welcome to music class. These are all my friends. I'll wave hello to my music friend. This is where you would say your child's name. I'm gonna say sheep. Hi, sheep. Wave hello to Miss Sarah. You can either wave hello to me, hi, if you're playing this along with me, or you can substitute your name or whatever your baby refers to you as when you're doing it one-on-one with them. Hi. Welcome to music class. It's time to begin. So you'll know that I really slowed it down there at the end, and that's very intentional. We want to allow our babies to kind of come into a nice, active, engaged state and kind of slowing everything down after those nice kind of claps, repetitive claps, really help kind of hone in their attention. So I hope that you do that as well. So we're going to talk all about the farm today. And one of my favorite things to do is make animal sounds, which we're going to be doing a lot of. I explained a little bit why animal sounds are so important in your activity guide this week, so that I hope that you repeat them over and over and over and over and add them in wherever you can this week. The more you can, the better. We're going to be talking about horses today though. And horses are awesome from a musical standpoint because they make lots of different sounds that we can make with our bodies. So the first is just a typical neigh. So let's go ahead and do that together. Ready? 1, 2, 3. And again, you'll be facing your child so they can see your mouth moving. And if you want to add in a little bit of sensory play, you can always kind of raise their hands up and down on neigh if you want to, like this. Neigh! Neigh! You can do the same thing with their legs. Again, there's no wrong way to do this. Just know that the more that you're interacting and the more that you're touching your child, the more input they're going to bring to their brain. Second one, we're going to use our tongue. Can you stick your tongue out at your child? mm. Mm. How do they react to that? Mm. Do any of them stick their tongue back out at you? Mm. And the reason why we're sticking our tongue out is because we're going to be emphasizing our tongue on this one. So I want you to get to where they can really see you. And this particular sound is so engaging for all children. I've seen children just stop in their tracks across the room and look over at me as soon as I did it. And it goes like this. How does your baby respond to that one? Another way to kind of add in some movement with this one is to put them on your lap with your legs stretched out, or if you're in a chair, and just do a gentle bounce with it. Neigh! Neigh! Here's my favorite one. You ready? How does your baby respond to that one? So we're going to put all these together into what I call a rhythm ride. And that again is in this position where they're on your lap with either your legs stretched out or sitting in a chair. And we're going to trot. We're going to neigh with them coming up and down. And then we're going to do the by just kind of shaking both of our legs out. Let's try it together. Ready? That's a really fun one and so simple. But as you're doing it, they're not only getting the stimulation of all the movement, but they're getting different movements for each sound. Kind of like the musical form of a song, a verse and a refrain, where there's different portions. So play with that this week. I know it seems simple, but there's a lot of brain play going on there. All right. So in your music box this month, you got a bell. So I don't think I need to say this, but I'll go ahead and say it just in case anyone needs to hear it. This is a pretty safe instrument, but I don't want you to leave your baby or young toddler along with it, okay? Just on the off chance that anything comes out, especially this one in the middle. Again, they're all pretty securely made, but you just never know. So again, always supervise and then put it up somewhere else. These are not necessarily toys, these are real instruments, okay? So we want to treat them with respect. So, we're going to play a game called Bell Horses this week, and this is actually going to go back to what I was just talking about with musical form. When I talk about musical form, it means different parts of a song, a verse, a refrain, a chorus, a bridge, right? Those are all ways that we organize information into our head and be able to kind of say this is the same or this is different. So we're going to do a little bit of that today with a song called Bell Horses. So I'll go ahead and kind of teach you here, and again, you can play this on your own time as well. This is a really fun one to play outside. So if your little one is walking, awesome. Let them kind of be independent on this one and kind of move around with you. I want you to be in control of the bell at first, and then you can always kind of offer it over to them to kind of play and explore with during free play and stuff like that. But for this particular activity, because we are kind of putting it in with a specific purpose of highlighting that musical form, I want you to be in control of it for this one for a second, okay? All right, so go ahead and stand up with your bell and your baby. Gotta kick some of this stuff back here. And I want you to hold your baby or crawler in one hand and the bell in the other. And again, if you have a walker, I would like for you to just kind of let them on their own, and you can always kind of hold their hand, or you can just kind of model the activity and allow them to just watch it and maybe join in on their own, okay? Again, no wrong way to do these things. It's always great to just model the activity first and repeat it, repeat it, repeat it. You're gonna do a lot more play outside of this video than you are here with me. We're just learning here, okay? All right, so it goes like this. You're gonna pick a spot in your room or outdoors, and this is gonna be your point A, okay? And then I want you to look around, and I want you to pick a different spot that's a little further away, and that's gonna be your point B, okay? So A, B, A. The format of this song is A, B, A. All right, so we're going to be returning and cycling back to end where we began, A, B, A. And it's going to go like this. Either holding your child's hand or having them independent or holding them in your arms. We're going to shake the bell. Bell horses, what's the time of day? 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, time to run away! And now as you're running, you're gonna shake the bell really hard and go to your new spot. I don't have much room, so I'm just gonna circle around and go right over here, but I want your new spot to be far away so that you can really kind of run to it. Ready? Go! Okay, now we're at our new spot. For this B part, we're in a different location and it's gonna sound differently. We're not gonna play the bell on this one. On this one, we're going to stomp our feet. For our children that are independent, model for them. They'll model along right back, encourage them to try it. Babies in arm will be able to feel our bodies moving. Here we go. 2, 4, 6, 8. Meet me at the barnyard gate. If I'm late, I won't wait. 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, that was our B. Now remember, we have to get back to A. So from here, we're going to do our bell song again and run back. Here we go. Bell horses, where did you roam? 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, time to run back home. Go! Bell horses, what's the time of day? 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, time to run away! Two, 4, 6, 8. Meet me at the barnyard gate. If you're late, I won't wait. 2, 4, 6, 8. Bell horses, where did you roam? 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, time to go back home. Last one. Bell bell horses, what's the time of day? 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, time to run away. Remember what's next? Yeah. 2, 4, 6, 8. Meet me at the barnyard gate. If you're late, I won't wait. 2, 4, 6, 8. Bell horses, where did you roam? 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, time to run back home. There you go. So that's going to be our main song that I want you guys to play with today. For babies, I don't throw a whole bunch of stuff in each week because really focusing on just a few things is going to be the most beneficial. So for this one of the most beneficial things to do is to have spaces that are pretty far apart. Again, I was pretty much just going right next to each other because I'm limited in the space that I can use with this video. But for you, you could do it in your yard, really far away from one another. You could do it in different rooms across the room. And babies and young toddlers love to be able to experience that transition of running from one place to another. It really kind of highlights the change in the song's format itself. So, lyrics are on your song sheet. If you need to come back to this, it's right at about the 15-minute mark. So remember, bell horses 15. You can kind of come back to it and watch it again and then play with you and your child, okay? Awesome. Okay, so we are going to grab from your music box this little guy. And you're going to be doing some stuff with this later on in the week as well, but I want to go ahead and kind of introduce it. This is going to be our peekaboo scarf. So when you introduce a scarf of any kind with your child, I always like to add a little bit of visual flair. So I like to do what's called turn it on or shake it on. And you're just going to kind of shake it around. This is really going to allow your baby to kind of fixate on it, follow it, track it, lots of kind of visual skills that we talked a lot about in the activity guide, and it just gives them something to kind of look forward to. Here we go. Shake and shake and shake and shake, shake and shake and shake and shake, shake and shake and shake and shake, shake and shake and stop. Shake and shake and shake and shake, shake and shake and shake and shake, shake and shake and shake and shake, shake and shake and stop. So I would repeat this a couple of times, at least 3 shake and shake, shake, shake parts. And you saw that I kind of put a little bit of pause in the middle. And it's really important to create lots of space when you're doing this kind of stuff. So I'm cramming lots of stuff in about a half an hour session just to kind of, again, give you all these tools and inspirations. But when you're doing these things, I don't want you to feel rushed. I don't want you to feel like you have to do this whole session in 30 minutes with your child. Again, just take one activity at a time, okay? Maybe don't even time it. Maybe just notice that your baby is in an active, playful spot, and then grab the scarf that's near you and just kind of go right into it in a nice organic way. Those are going to be the most memorable for them, okay? But I want you to offer those spaces of pause to allow them an opportunity to respond back. So what do? Maybe they start kind of wiggling around. They get excited about what they're going to do. I'm going to sing that song each time we do any type of instrument or prop introduction, so they're going to become aware of it and know that it means that something really fun is going to come. So we're going to be playing peekaboo, and I talked a little bit about the importance of peekaboo in your activity guide, so I won't go over that here. But I'm going to teach you one peekaboo song here, and then you have another one in your activity guide to play with. The one that I'm doing here goes like this. There was a child who went in the barn. Then you're going to go in the barn to lay down on some hay. Night-night. Night-night. And I like to kind of say that phrase, night-night, and stay here for a second, because it's something that our our babies and our toddlers are familiar with. And it makes this next part that much more dramatic. When out comes an owl, peekaboo, and he flew around, ooh, 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 and frightened the child away. So there's a lot going on here. There is the change of seeing your face to now you're disappeared. So it's like that kind of object permanence, where did it go type of thinking, cognition going on. There is the timing cue of coming out again on the peekaboo. There's the visuals of us kind of flailing our owl wings around. And then there's the timing play of us holding it out in front of us, and then on the word away, putting it behind our back, okay? So lots of stuff for them to focus in on and to begin to anticipate the more and the more that you do it. So let's do it a couple more times so that you're nice and confident with it. Ready? Okay. There was a child who went in the barn to lay down on the hay, when out popped an owl, peekaboo, and he flew around, whoo, 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 and frightened the child away. So you'll notice that my voice got quieter and slower to really contrast us flapping around, and then to draw attention to the stillness of the scarf in front of us before we do our timing play and it goes behind our back. So this third time, really watch that part. There was a child who went in the barn to lay down on the hay, when out popped an owl. And he flew around, and he frightened the child away. So you can see all those different contrasting movements, sounds, tones, and textures that are put into that song in order to kind of really initiate their attraction towards what you're doing, and then their engagement into it, and then hopefully some type of response in the aftermath. So again, that song is on your song sheet. I want you to repeat it as many times as you can. Okay. A couple of things for this week that I want you to kind of focus on. I'll do a quick review here of everything that I would love for you to keep going back to. The horses and the 3 sounds that we did with those. Nay! Putting that into a rhythm ride. We did this. Nay! Okay, so practice that for me. The other one was the bell horses. So get outside, especially. We're going to have some beautiful weather, I think, this week. So get outside with the bell. Allow your baby some time to experience with the bell as well, and we'll talk about that in just a second. But again, for the actual song, I would love for you to be in control of it. If you have a super strong-willed toddler that just really wants the bell, totally okay. I want you to just maintain the format of the song. And your movements. So model the movements, okay? Even if your child isn't following along, even if they're just watching you, I want to make sure that you really kind of follow the movements as they're supposed to be, okay? And then the peekaboo owl song that we just did. Practice that a little bit, okay? All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and kind of finish up the video because I want to draw your attention to something that we're not necessarily gonna do in class, but that I want you to do outside of the music class, and that is free play. So I want you, after you introduce, or if you have a music session, some of you are just going to be kind of doing these activities throughout your day, and that's awesome. But if you decide to kind of put them all together and have an actual kind of music class in your home, I want you to end it with what I call decompressive free play. It's really important after we are in charge of all these things and we're really kind of throwing all this type of stimulation at them, all of our moves and gestures and songs and sounds, to give them an opportunity to kind of really express all that back out. Okay, and babies are going to do that through sound. Sometimes we call it whining, so you might hear a little bit of kind of just decompressive sounds coming out, and that's totally fine. What I would like for you to do at the end of your music session is to offer over any instruments that you have, and you guys got egg shakers in your box as well as the bell, and if you have any other instruments, just gather them together, and I'm going to give you a link to a few songs that I really like, and you can just put on kind of one or two, and these are instrumental, non-lyrical, kind of high beat songs that just allow you to almost kind of go into what is often called a flow state. And during this, I want you to just turn the song on, have it playing, and I want you to pick up an instrument and just kind of go into your own world and play. And I want your baby to be able to do the same, okay? Maybe they're just gonna sit there and watch you, that's fine, but I don't want you to be so on them like we have just been with all the activities, okay? It's gonna be a little more kind of step back and give them their space versus kind of what we've been doing, okay? After you play the one or two songs, I recommend one for the young babies, two for the toddlers, the instrumental songs that I'm gonna give you links to. And then I want you to just do about 2 or 3 minutes of complete silence, okay? And during that part, you put down the instruments, offer them still for them, but you are just going to sit and you're going to listen. And you can smile, and you can nod, you can dance, but you're not going to say anything, okay? And that's really going to allow them to kind of respond with any of those sounds that need to come out, okay? So often we say things like, good job, yes, yes, and that's amazing. I love the reassurance that we give our babies and our kids, but sometimes they just need complete silence. They may be in that flow state where they're really feeling things and learning things, and then all of a sudden a voice comes in and says, good job, and boom, they're out of it, okay? I don't think we think about that as much as adults, the importance of silence for a child. So just to recap everything that I just said, because I just said a lot in a couple of minutes. If you choose to do all the music together, or even if you want to do this free play activity as just another activity in of itself, this is how it's going to go. Instruments out in front of you with you and your child. You're going to play one of the couple of songs that I'm going to link for you. One song is played for the younger babies. 2 songs are played for the older toddlers. During the music portion, while it's playing, you guys are both playing together with instruments, okay? You're doing your own thing with the instruments. You're in your own world. You can kind of offer to them, but they're doing their own thing. You're not going to kind of force them to play an instrument or take their hand and shake it or any of that. They're their own independent body, okay? After the song is done, complete silence for about 2 or 3 minutes where you're sitting, you're attentive, you're there, but you're not saying anything. And this is where so much of the magic is going to happen, are in those moments of silence. That's when the babies are going to begin to kind of reach out, make their own music, make their own sounds, and make their own choices. So I hope that you've enjoyed the video. I hope that you take what you can and sprinkle it throughout your week. There's no wrong way to do it. You're amazing. at what you're doing right now. You have one of the hardest jobs in the world, but definitely the most rewarding. So love your babies, play with them, sing with them, and I will see you Thursday for our play date. Our play date will just be a time where we can all kind of do these things together, and I'll turn on some fun music and we can just kind of play and dance around. It'll only be 15 or 20 minutes. It's optional. Tune in if you want to. If you don't want to, totally fine. All right. I will see you guys next time, and thanks for playing Farm Life with Candy Mountain Music.